It is that time of year. Everybody right now is thinking about how much weight they've gained at Christmas and during the holidays, and they're trying to figure out a way to be healthier. Every year at this time, I do a cleanse, is what I call it. This is my third year that I'll be doing this, and I do a week-long fast. And in order to get ready for a fast, there are things that you need to do to get your body prepared for that. So for the next couple of weeks, I'm going to talk about some of those things and walk y'all through my process. So starting Monday, I will begin my keto low carb diet again. It's not really a diet for me. This is really more of a way of life that I kind of fall off the wagon every now and then. But the longer you do it, the easier it is to get right back on there again. And the first time, it is really miserable. I'm just going to be honest with you, it's miserable. Before you do any kind of keto, low carb, intermittent fasting, it is really important that you do some research and you know what you're doing, because you can make some mistakes. You can really go into some terrible detox. You can feel pretty miserable, and that's not necessary for you to get the health benefits. So I do recommend that you read Jason Fung's Complete Guide to Fasting. That is a huge help. I learned a lot from that book before I ever did my first fast. So definitely go to Jason Fung's book. Get that. I got it from the library. It's very highly recommended by a lot of people. I also watch a lot of Dr. Berg's videos, and he has a lot on the correct way to do keto, the correct way to fast, the correct way to do low carb. Now, the problem with a lot of keto diets is people that do keto eat a lot of meat and cheese. That's what they eat. They eat meat and cheese. It is really important that you eat green leafy vegetables. And all of you are going, ew! I have done a lot of keto and low carb. The reason why I can't really call what I do keto is because in order for it to be keto, you have to send your body into ketosis. Now, I have done that before. And when I do that, I don't feel great. It's really hard on the kidneys, especially long term. And I want to make sure that I'm getting enough leafy greens. And according to Dr. Berg, that's more important than being in ketosis. He calls it keto. But I do the leafy greens instead. And the way I get my leafy greens, I'm just going to tell you right now, the easiest way to get them in is eating this every day. I eat 6 cups of leafy greens a day by eating salad. So you just eat a huge salad every day. Now, if you can get organic, that is best. The first 3 to 5 days of a low carb keto diet, you are going to, the first time you've ever done it, if you've been on a lot of sugar, especially during the holidays, you're going to really be detoxing. Your body's going to be going through a lot, and so you want to be sure that you're not sending your body into extra shock by having to process a lot of pesticides. So organic is really important as much as possible. So I get my organic, this is spinach leaves, this is spinach and spring mix. So I get this, I eat 6 cups of lettuce a day, or 6 cups of leafy greens in a salad. Huge salad I eat. And that's another reason why I can't call mine keto. It's my way. I do like Bacos. I like a few croutons. And I do like to be able to have as much salad dressing as I really want. So I put that, I figure, hey, I'm still eating a salad. If I want some salad dressing, I can have it. Another thing that's been really huge for a lot of people is learning that fat is not bad. If you know fat is not bad, give me a heart, because fat is good for you. We have been trained low fat, low fat, low fat. Well, guess what low fat is doing? It is causing a whole country of diabetics and obese people. We have to remember fat is good. It feeds our brain. Our brain is made of fat. And if we're not feeding that, then our brain is not going to do well. It's not going to function properly. So you have to have that fat. So learning that fat was okay was huge for me. Do not buy light salad dressing. Do not buy fat-free salad dressing. When you do that, look at your label, look at your carbs. When you do that, you're losing the fat, and guess where it's going? It's going to be added to carbs. You're going to have like 20-something carbs in your dressing. I mean, the dressing carbs go straight up when you go light or fat-free. Always make sure that you get a regular salad dressing, and it's not fat-free or light. And if you can find an organic salad dressing, that's great. Organic is really hard to find, especially that tastes really good. If any of y'all have a salad dressing that you love, please post it in the comments. Let me know, because I'm looking for a good one. Personally, I do still buy a regular salad dressing by Hidden Valley Ranch or something like that. But anytime you buy a salad dressing that is not organic, you're going to be getting soy. And unfortunately, soy in the US right now is full of pesticides, and it is not going to be GMO. It's going to be a GMO. It's not going to be a non-GMO. So you're getting a lot of pesticides in your dressing. So that's just one of the downsides of that. Another thing that I do is, in order to get myself ready for my fasting, the first few days that I'm on keto or low carb, I do not limit myself on how many times I can eat. The first few days, I can eat whenever I'm hungry, whenever I think I'm hungry, because you really think you're hungry, you're not actually hungry. But as you get used to it, it gets easier to go longer and longer. I never, ever, ever eat breakfast. The first part of a fast is very simple for me because I don't even eat the first part of my day. I don't usually eat until about 12 or 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And so because of that, eating breakfast, skipping breakfast is no big deal. So you have to get yourself into that routine. And your body, and you'll read that in Jason Fung's Complete Guide to Fasting, is that your body sends you signals based on when it knows you usually eat. And if you ignore those signals and you don't eat, you will retrain your body. And so if you have been eating breakfast your whole life, it's going to be very hard for you to convince your body that you're not hungry, even though you're really not. And they say breakfast is the best, most important meal of the day. It's not. It's actually just a way to get one more meal in and more calories in. If you can go longer in your day without eating, you will actually feel better and healthier and have more energy. So the other things that I do, I eat a lot of eggs. Again, you want organic. Let me tell you why you want organic eggs. And these are like $4. It's expensive, but it's worth it. Because if you're eating a regular egg, those chickens are getting fed corn. And guess what? All the corn in the U.S. has in it. Pesticides. We do not really have much GMO, non-GMO corn. Most of the corn is GMO. It's going to be laden with pesticides, and whenever you are detoxing and you are trying to get healthier, the last thing you need to do is put pesticides in your body. So organic is really important. So I buy organic eggs. It's expensive, and I usually eat 2, depending on how hungry I am, 5 eggs a day. Very important. And again, people have been told eggs are bad, eggs are bad. Eggs are not bad. Eggs are great for you. It is the perfect food. Look it up. An egg is an amazing balance of everything that you need. Eat eggs. Now, I will say this. If you have gallbladder issues and you're eating eggs, eggs will really make a gallbladder worse. It will hurt your gallbladder. I mean, it doesn't hurt your gallbladder. It just gives you bad symptoms from your gallbladder. So if you're having gallbladder issues and you're eating eggs, that can definitely be a problem. I did have that problem when I first started doing keto, and I was eating a lot of eggs. I did notice that my gallbladder, I could feel the bile squirting, and that was very uncomfortable. But that has definitely improved as I have gotten healthier. So your body does adjust to it. And this is another staple of mine, Pure. This is a erythritol and stevia mixture. I do not really like stevia by itself. I do not use xylitol. Xylitol is man-made. Stay away from it. Also, if you don't buy the Pure brand, make sure it says organic, because if you're getting erythritol that's not organic, it's man-made. So be careful of that. You want to make sure your erythritol is the organic from natural resources. Very important. So I buy the Pure brand because it is the organic, non-GMO, stevia, and erythritol. And it does not take much. So if you are using this and you use maybe 1/4 of a cup of sugar, you're going to use like a teaspoon, 2 teaspoons. I usually do it to taste. And one of my huge go-tos, I forgot to bring my dark chocolate in here. One of my huge go-tos is cream cheese. I have that upside down. Cream cheese with Pure and some dark chocolate chips. And I'll take about 1/2 block of cream cheese, stick it in the microwave, get it a little bit warm, put a little bit of Pure in there and some dark chocolate chips, and it will satisfy any kind of cravings that you have. You will feel awesome. If you want to really, really enjoy it, add some walnuts or some pecans. Again, non-GMO. Try the best you can to do as much non-GMO as possible. Of course, cream cheese, there may be some non-GMO cream cheese out there. I don't know. I haven't ever seen it, but I just buy the Walmart brand cream cheese. So those are my go-tos, my staples. And whenever I'm feeling like I have to have something, I can do my cream cheese, or sometimes I'll even just do like a little bitty handful of nuts and dark chocolate, and that will get me through, especially those first few days when you're going low carb and keto. Mine caused a lot of headaches. I had a lot of bad trouble with migraines anyway. So when I started going keto and detoxing, then I had trouble with my migraines coming back. So that was huge. And I had to to really have a little bit of sugar, because when you're getting rid of that sugar, you're going to really feel it. So if you've had a lot of sugar during the holidays and you start doing this, you're going to feel it. So be prepared. Make sure you do it on a day when you can be home and rest, or that you can take it easy, because it is a struggle that first time. Now for me, I've been doing this off and on for 3 years. I'm not going to feel any effects. I won't even notice it. It will be no big deal at all. Now, I have not been low carb in a while, but I will. Your body just learns and bounces back quickly. Starting Monday is when I'm doing this, and I will be preparing myself for my fast. Now, if you just go straight into a fast, like right now, if I decided I'm going to fast for a week, guess what? It wouldn't happen, because my body would be craving all those carbs, and I would be so miserable that I wouldn't make it. So before you ever fast, it is very important that you cut out a lot of sugar and a lot of carbs, because if you're eating a high carb, high sugar diet, and then you go into a fast, you are going to be one miserable, grumpy, awful person. You have got to prepare your body. You don't want to send it into an awful detox shock. So that's really important that you remember that. So I'm going to be prepping myself for the next couple of weeks, going into a really healthy, balanced diet. And then once I am comfortable with my process of the keto low carb, then I will go into my fast. And I'll usually typically, whenever I've done keto for a couple of weeks, you get to where you're not even hungry. Your body learns what hunger really is. And you get to where you eat because it's time to eat. It's not because you need to eat. It's because it's like, oh, I haven't eaten all day. I guess I should eat something now. Your cravings go away. Everything is better. And usually I do a 20-hour fast, 4 hours of eating. And usually my eating will be, because I usually go to work in the afternoons, usually between 12 to 2, 12 to 4, somewhere in there, I will eat. And then I will go the rest of the day through the night. And then the next day, I'll eat again around 12 or 2. And I'll tell you what's funny is my body learns that. And my stomach starts to growl around 12. I eat. I'm good. My stomach does not growl again for that rest of that time until it's time for 12 o'clock the next day. Also, I love eating in the afternoon, because most of your time fasting is at night while you're asleep. So, you don't even know you're fasting. You're asleep. You're not aware of it. It's awesome. Another main thing when you are doing low carb, keto, and doing that is drink a lot of water. You want to drink a lot of water, because that's going to help your body flush out those toxins. It's really important during this time period to make sure you're taking magnesium. I should have brought my magnesium in here. You want to take your magnesium, because your potassium. Your body is going to be really struggling with keeping up with that, because when your body's under stress, you use up a lot of magnesium and potassium. Another reason why your leafy greens are really important is because those are going to help your body get magnesium and potassium back in. This is a great source of magnesium and potassium. If you get depleted, then you're not going to do as well, and you're going to detox harder, and it's going to be worse for you. So those six cups of leafy greens are going to really help your body stay in balance and keep your magnesium and potassium levels up. I'm just telling y'all, this is like years of research that I have done from this source and this video and that video. And this is what all of this has come together to help me figure out what I need to do. If you have ideas and comments on the things that you have done that you found that work for you, let me know those. Also, give me your top go-tos. I mean, mine's cream cheese. What's yours? What is your favorite thing that you go to whenever you're on a low carb or keto diet? What is your favorite thing? The last thing I want to talk about that has made a huge difference for me is the very first year that I did this, the need to eat was hard. It was difficult for me. And that was, number one, it was my first time fasting. Number two, it was because I had a lot of parasites and did not know anything about parasites. And most of us don't really know much about parasites in America. We don't really do much about those, and we deworm our dogs. That's about all we do. But we don't actually deal with parasites in our bodies. So I did not realize that I was overwhelmed with parasites. And whenever you're overwhelmed with parasites, guess what they want? They want sugar. So they're going to make you crave sugar. And as soon as I ended my fast, then I would have these awful cravings, and I would be out of control eating everything in the world that was not good for me. So that second time I did my fast, it was a little bit better because I had started on CBD oil, and my fasting was a lot easier for me. I did not have to my need to eat was better. I didn't have this overwhelming urge to eat constantly. So this has made a huge difference for me. This will be my third year. Last year when I did it, I had just started CBD oil, so I still had some troubles with that. I'm really excited to find out how this works this year with my fast and how this helps me. So I'm really curious to find out, and I'm going to keep y'all updated all along the way, and how this affects my fast. So this is going to be new for me, and this will be my third week-long fast. So I have done, let's see, that would be 2018. I did my week-long fast in January, February, somewhere in there. And then you lose a lot of weight. I'm going to tell you, you lose a lot of weight. I lost about 10 to 12 pounds that week. But you usually gain about half of it back. And if you're not careful and you give in to all your cravings when you start back eating again, then you gain all of it back. So it's very important that once you stop your fast, that you gradually go back into eating. And Candida is huge too. We have so much bread and yeast and all of this sugar that we eat. It is unreal how much sugar we are eating without even realizing it. And I mean, even things like cream cheese, it has some carbs in it. So everything you eat, you're looking at some carbs. But there's a difference in types of carbs. That's another thing. When people say I'm on a low carb diet, I can't have veggies because veggies have carbs. Yes, there are 3 carbs in 3 cups of this. Okay, I don't count this. If you're counting carbs, do not count your veggies. Now, if you're eating starchy veggies, that's different. If you're eating a potato or you're eating carrots or something like that, whoa, you don't even need to be eating that kind of stuff. But a sweet potato, maybe. But if you're eating leafy greens, do not count those carbs. If you're actually counting carbs, I don't count carbs. If I have to count something, I'm not going to do it. So I do not count carbs. I just try to be aware. Now, different people need different things. You may need to count up your carbs during the day. When you're eating your leafy greens, you eat as many leafy greens as you want. You're not going to get fat on leafy greens. If you can get fat on leafy greens, then I'm impressed. But you can eat as many leafy greens as you want. If you want to sit and eat broccoli all day long, you eat broccoli all day long. If you want to eat, I love doing kale chips. You take pieces of kale and sprinkle garlic and salt on them and put them in the oven and they get crispy. Those are wonderful. You eat as many kale chips as you want. It's wonderful for you. So do not count those carbs. Okay, now if I eat cream cheese and I eat dark chocolate, I'm going to count those carbs. I'm going to go, ooh, I already had a handful of the walnuts or pecans and dark chocolate. So I need to be careful. And dark chocolate will add up fast. You can eat a lot of dark chocolate really quick and you can end up with 50, 60 carbs really fast and not even realize it. So be very conscious. It's very important that you're conscious of what you're doing every time you decide to eat, that you think about what am I eating and what am I putting in my body, and then make the decision. Okay. Also, on things like pure, this says 2 carbs. I also do not count these carbs because they're alcohol sugar carbs, and some people do count those. I do not. So these carbs for me are free because this does not affect your metabolism the same way as sugar would. This is not the same kind of sugar. So again, think about the types of carbs that you're eating. What kind of carb are you eating versus a healthy carb and a nasty, icky carb, because there are really good carbs and then there are really bad carbs. And you don't want to get a carb that is bad for you. You want to stick with the stuff that is really going to help your body and nourish your body and not just empty carbs. I didn't talk much about meat or cheese. I am not a big meat eater myself. So I really, for me, the eggs kind of make up for my lack of meat. I do put cheese on my salad, and I don't really count my carbs in my cheese. So I'm not really a big meat eater. But now if you love your meat, you eat your meat, but just make sure you're getting your veggies in too, because your veggies are really, really important. You want to keep your magnesium and potassium up. You want to keep your healthiness. You want to keep your kidneys functioning properly. And if you're not keeping those going, all that meat and cheese is really going to be hard on those kidneys long term. So think about that. I am also big on keeping that water going. And I've tried a few of the drinks, like the Bai drinks and things like that. I'm very sensitive to caffeine, so I can't drink those very often. But if you're a person that just has to have a flavored drink, some of the Bai drinks are a really good option for you. But again, be careful of caffeine when you're doing a keto detox, because that caffeine is going to dehydrate you and you really need to keep hydrated. So make sure you're kind of keeping that at a minimum. So that was my basics on what I do for my keto and low carb. I would love to hear how you do yours and the differences, because I love to learn from other people, and I love ideas. If you have ideas that might be a little better or different, definitely tell me those. And I'm going to be keeping y'all in touch. Monday, when I start up back on my low carb, I'm going to give y'all a recap at the end of every day, and then I'm going to let y'all know when I start my fast and my 7-day fast, and I'm going to give y'all all of my inside tips on how I do that and keep y'all updated throughout that week and let y'all see how I'm doing. So that'll help me keep on track, because I know I have to get on here and say, I didn't eat anything. Oh, all right. Well, y'all have a great Saturday and a wonderful Happy New Year. And everybody be healthy and strong. And I will see y'all later. Bye.